First, we're asking tonight, the RBI's booster shot for the economy. Is this just too little, too late? We're joined tonight on that special discussion by Arun Maira, member of the Planning Commission. Joining me here in the studio, D. Raja, National Secretary of the CPI. We have Piyush Goyal, Rajya Sabha MP of the BJP, Meera Sanyal, Chairperson of the Royal Bank of Scotland Group and also for India, and Dr. Ila Patnaik, Economics Editor of the Indian Express. Meera Sanyal, did the RBI really deliver a whimper instead of the bang that was expected? Markets and the rupee sliding further. Was this in effect a lesson in how not to rescue the rupee?
Look, I think we place too much on the shoulders of the Reserve Bank of India. The whole story about growth really depends on three things: on the trust, the confidence and the hope that people have when they are making investments. The real reason that growth has slowed down is that investments, the rate of growth of investments, has fallen from 11.3% last year to 5.3% this year. And unless the government works to restore the trust, the confidence and the hope of this country, we will not be able to see further growth or the rupee strengthening.
Maira, respond to that. No rate cut, there have been no big fiscal measures announced. What is the government offering in terms of reassurance? We've seen the way the markets reacted today. We heard Mr. Montek Singh Ahluwalia saying don't judge the impact by the market reaction. But what is it? Are we still expecting something more, or is this it really? Arun Maira, that question was directed to you. Please respond.
Oh, for me?
Yes.
Thank you so much. I was hearing Meera and she's so right. It's a matter, as she said, about trust and confidence. And the trust and confidence of whom? Yes, on one side you're saying it's the trust and confidence of the market and investors. But there's a bigger problem, is the trust and confidence of the people in the country, that things are working in ways that they would get with surety the sort of benefits that they expect out of government and its actions. And I think that's the more serious concern that we have to apply ourselves to. It's the trust in the institutions in the country itself. And these are institutions of government, these are institutions of the business also. There's a mistrust in institutions of business right now. And because of this mistrust, there's a logjam. Things are not moving in the country. And because things aren't moving, even if investors do come and put money into projects, the projects don't get executed. They're stuck up by mistrust, cases brought in by some against the other. And so if you really want to attract investments into the country, it's not putting out announcements to people outside to say, hey, we welcome you, we're going to make it easier for you to come. You've got to solve the root cause problems that things are not getting done. There's no coordination amongst the people that need to coordinate to make sure there's implementation rapidly, both on things that affect people, and that will increase the trust of people, and things that in fact affect the investors, which is like the projects and the execution of the projects themselves. So we've got to apply ourselves to the conditions within the country of coordination, implementation, the quality of institutions and the trust in institutions.
So you're saying this is not just a factor of it being difficult times for the global economy. This is a very real Indian and domestic problem.
Absolutely. In fact, when there is trouble on the outside, when the seas are more turbulent on the outside, what would a captain of a ship do? Not keep worrying to say, oh, there are things going wrong on the outside, I wonder whether they're going to affect my ship. He gets his whole crew together and says, well, let's batten down the hatches, let's make this ship safe and sure.
Well, and are we seeing that kind of captaining? Piyush Goyal, come in on this. There's a lot of talk today in the capital about how the Prime Minister is the next man to take up the reins of the economy. He's the man for the job, at least for the present. He's going to be assisted in that by senior bureaucrats. Your reactions?
Ankita, the situation today is alarming. Until this morning, I was a disappointed man. Today, I'm an angry man. I'm an angry citizen of this country. How true Meera and Arun both are in their comments earlier in the show. I'm in fact actually quite happy to hear Arun make such an honest appraisal, but that's because he comes from the private sector. He understands the woes of business and industry today. And I think he's only reflecting the sentiment that is all pervasive all over India today. And then the sad part is we have the Prime Minister, we have the Honorable Finance Minister, President Designate, for the last 3 days offering us, promising us some hope. And then what do they do today? They completely let down the entire country. They completely let down any hope for the future. And then we have some small voices say this is only a beginning and we'll do more. As Arun said, the time is losing out. Every day lost is an opportunity lost. And I think the Prime Minister will do no service by retaining the portfolio himself. We need a political personality, one who understands not just hard figures as bureaucrats and economists do, but who understands the pulse of the people. We need a political leader at the helm of affairs.
The present finance minister jumped the gun in a sense also. And was there an element that this was his final prescription just before stepping down? We heard that very public announcement over the weekend. Did he in a sense increase expectations?
I wish he hadn't done that. Ankita, I'll tell you what I felt. Today I was sitting with somebody and I was telling him a hungry man would rather die hungry without a person holding out a piece of bread in front of him for 3 days and then end of the day not give him that bread and take it away. That man will die a worse death with 3 days of a bread hanging in front of his mouth, and then at the end of 3 days the bread is taken away and he's left to die. That's the kind of situation the country is left with today.
Do you have the NDTV Profit app? All the markets, all the news and your own homemade, ready-made portfolio available there for you.
We will right now answer what you should sell, what you should buy when markets are down.
Download at ndtvprofit.com/apps. Get the best app from the channel you trust.